Sky Squad, we are back in the building and it's time for us to do our weekly recap on the Speak On It. Plus, we got to talk about this whole Kim Zolciak thing with her daughter. Okay. So, we're going to get into that because Kim Zolciak is finally speaking out and we are going to learn some interesting information from Kandi Speak On It. Now, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, Sky Squad, we back in the building. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now, okay? Now, each week, you guys know that we like to either try to recap Kandi Speak On It or Dr. Heavenly's live after they go live to sort of fill in the gaps about some of the episodes that we see with Real Housewives of Atlanta and Married to Medicine. I don't know why more people on these shows don't do these types of things, but I'm so glad that these two ladies do. Okay. So we've got some interesting bits of information that we're going to talk about first things first. Now, we're going to start with Kandi and her Speak On It episode. This was an hour-long live Speak On It. I happened to miss the live because I was watching Married to Medicine on Sunday. So I didn't get a chance to tap in and ask any questions or anything like that because, I would have been up in there asking the questions. Okay. But anyway, some people did get off some very good questions, and Kandi did deliver on some answers. Well, there are some things that are left with more questions than answers, but we'll get into it. So in case you haven't watched it, great. We can fill you in. And if you have watched it, then you guys will kind of already know what we're talking about. So first things first, she did her Speak On It in her hotel room in NYC. The reunion, of course, was filmed about 2-3 days beforehand. This past Thursday, she did the Speak On It live after the episode. She did tell us that she doesn't know when the reunion will air, but as of this past week's episode, which was the 14th episode, which aired on the 14th of August, there are 3 more episodes left. So there are 17 episodes total. No word on whether or not they will take off a week for the week of Labor Day. Is it Labor Day? Yes, Labor Day weekend, which is the 4th, which would technically be, I would say, the finale based on Kandi's estimations, or if they're going to move that to the 11th, which then that would be the finale. But the reunion should be around the weekend of the 11th or the 18th of September. So we'll just have to sort of wait and see. My estimation is they'll probably take a week off for Labor Day and go into the reunion or the finale on the 11th and the reunion on the 18th. But I could be wrong. I'm just speculating here. Okay. Now, she says that every episode for the rest of the season is lit, and she didn't enjoy filming this week's episode because she was really upset with Marlo. They asked her, was Kenya and Sheree really late for Sonya's event? And she said she felt like it was a misunderstanding and she didn't think Sonya purposefully left them out. They were asking her if Marlo said anything to her before the season aired, after they had filmed it, about what she was saying about her during the season. And she says that Marlo did try to warn her that she probably said some things that Kandi won't like, but Kandi didn't want to hear about it. And she says that she likes to see these things play out on camera and doesn't like it when another castmate tries to curtail what they said about her beforehand to soften the blow that she delivers back to them. Okay. It was asked if Marlo attended the reunion. If you guys have questions about why that question keeps coming up, it is because during the day or the day after, I think, the reunion, Marlo was seen filming an interview on the Zoom, and she was dressed in what appeared to be a reunion type of gown. However, Marlo is ever the fashion maven, so I think that even myself, I had to wonder, was she at the reunion? But she was at the reunion, and her post about it was kind of cryptic as well. So that was the reason for people asking that, for those of you guys who did not know. But she says Marlo was definitely at the reunion. It was asked why she's still following Marlo on Instagram, and she says that she doesn't like this whole follow unfollow thing. She feels it's lame and it brings everyone else into the argument, because then people can see that they're not following each other anymore, and she'll just mute the person instead. She interestingly said that she and Tiny have lots of songs from the Kandi and Tiny project from years ago that they could potentially release. They could just update the songs. I think that they should just go ahead and release it based on the new song that they have out now, which she did go into a bit more detail about, but we won't really touch on that here. With regards to the reunion, she says everybody was there. Everybody showed up and showed out. People got read and people tried to read. It was a great reunion. She says that she didn't cry at the reunion, but she did get real angry at one point and her eyes kind of welled up, but she did not cry. She says she does hold Sheree just as accountable as Marlo for the things that she has said on the show because someone did ask about that. And then so someone else asked, well, why take the reunion to New York instead of doing it in Atlanta? So Kandi says she's not feeling that. This season and the previous seasons were done in New York City, but the prior reunion was virtual, and before that they were all done in Atlanta. So I wondered that myself. Um and she doesn't know why that is. I know that Potomac typically films in New York City. Salt Lake City, I believe, also filmed in New York City. I believe the only people that haven't, Dallas filmed in New York City. I think Miami filmed in New York City. I think the only people that do not really go to New York is OC and Beverly Hills, because I think they usually film in Los Angeles. So that was very interesting as well. Um, she likes to be able to go home after the reunion and be around people she loves after arguing with people all day. And she said the girls are pissed about her speak on it. She said some of the girls are really, really like heated about the speak on it, especially the ones with A1 on them. Okay. Because you know, A1, he be going in. Okay. But she does say that they've all had invitations to come on Speak On It. Drew had a scheduling conflict. Sheree was out of town. They're trying to get Kenya on before the end of the season. And Marlo stood them up at the beginning of the season, and she stood them up twice so that they haven't called her back. Okay. And I doubt that they'll be wanting to call her back. She goes into talking about why she wanted Marlo to have a peach, and that was for several reasons. She feels like Marlo put her time in on the show. She doesn't shy away from the drama. She speaks her mind, and she brings the fashions. And she says that because she and Todd were working on a show with Marlo for WeTV about her backstory, they knew a lot more about her backstory and they felt like it would be interesting TV. And they never got a chance to show that on Housewives. But apparently, we'll get to see her mom coming up in the next few episodes. But she does not like that Marlo is not open about who she's dating. But she feels like Marlo does give good personal story. And it's been a lot of other people that came on the show that didn't give nearly as much as Marlo has, and they still got a peach. So why not? She is trying to figure out when they can bring back the dungeon tour. She says they're bringing it back, but she's just not sure when. Um, People ask why Kenya says she wasn't happy with the reunion. She says she really doesn't know why she felt like that, because I think Kenya said something like that in her live. And this was also very interesting and also kind of like it. This kind of disappointed me right here because I was like, oh my God, like I guess because I envisioned them working together in some way, shape, or form. But someone asked, what is her relationship? What is her and Todd's relationship with Carlos King? She says that there is no relationship. We have no relationship no more. No, 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 no. So that left me to wondering, like, what is the issue with Todd, Kandi, and Carlos? Now, I know that there was at one point in time a rumor that it was Carlos who told Phaedra about the whole dungeon situation. But I believe that was later cleared up by Carlos, who said that was not true. So if that's not true, then I believe, I don't know if this is true or not, but maybe Carlos can clear this up or somebody can clear it up. That maybe I think Todd and Carlos had worked on some shows together and maybe that did not go as smoothly. I really don't know. The reason why it disappoints me is because in my mind, because of the amount of work and effort and energy that I know that both Carlos and Kandi and Todd put in for communities of color in terms of providing shows, networking opportunities and stuff like that, that I know that both, camps, put in the work for. I just it kind of saddens me that there's no relationship there, because I just see them, I see them all as a major force to be reckoned with in the entertainment industry. So in my mind and in my spirit, my hope is that something can be mended there. But you guys let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. I've never had the, I don't know why, I've just never felt like I had the I don't know. It just, it feels uncomfortable to ask about it. So, but it definitely came up in Kandi's video. So there we have it. Um she said, when asked about what she thinks about people saying she needs to work harder for her peach, she says that she feels like she's just being herself. She's not doing anything fake. And if she's not, if that if people feel like she's not doing enough for the mess, then she can't really help that, because she's a don't start none, don't be none type, don't won't be none type of person. If they come to her with the mess, she's definitely going to respond, but she's definitely not going to go out there and purposefully be messy. Okay. She says she's been very open with her life for 13 years, and she's done it all, and she's never shied away from anything, and she is always involved in the show. Now, with regards to Miss Kim Zolciak, okay, Kim Zolciak is responding to exactly what's been going on with her daughter's arrest, okay, and the alleged DUI. So Kim Zolciak posted this. She says Ariana was involved in a minor fender bender when police arrived on the scene. The investigating officer immediately initiated investigation for DUI of alcohol. Despite Ariana's constant invocation that she was upset and anxious from the minor accident, the officer incorrectly included that she was impaired. That was not the case. While we have no further desire to litigate the case in the media, Ariana was not impaired by any substance, including alcohol or the ganja. I'm using a different word. She also says since she was being cooperative and honest, she admitted to consuming ganja the day before, okay, meaning over 24 hours prior to her contact with law enforcement. In addition, the arresting officer, as evidenced by his own police report, charged Ariana with impaired alcohol. She wholly denies these allegations and intends to fight these charges because she's not guilty of them. Thus, we appreciate the general public allowing the case to be tried on its merits and not the rhetoric or incorrect conclusions. Okay. So that is the word from Kim Zolciak. Now, according to People magazine, she refused the breathalyzer during the DUI arrest. Okay. And apparently, according to the police report obtained by People, she possessed a THC vape pen and had a noticeable sway during the field sobriety test. Okay. So I'm not necessarily sure where this will all end up for Kim Zolciak's daughter, but I will say that, and I said this before on a different, I don't, a different platform, I think, you know, for me, I kind of feel like as a, as a celebrity, as someone who really legitimately likely has the coin, I do believe that at some point in it would be in these celebrity kids and the celebrity's best interest, especially when you're going to be consuming substances of any sort, to maybe have a driver on standby. And I don't just mean a Uber or a Lyft, but I mean a private driving service that can get you to and from when you know that you are going to be hitting the streets, partying, and doing your thing. That doesn't mean that you always have a private driver, but I've had Uber black drivers hand me their business cards and say, listen, and I don't know if this is company policy or not, but listen, I also do private driving. So if you are ever in need of a driving service, feel free to contact me. Now, I have yet to do that. However, I do think that this is something that some of these celebrities should look into, because I don't think it's that much more expensive, and it's definitely way less expensive than the consequences herein. So Just a little bit of advice, and I know that this goes for anybody. You don't have to be a celebrity to follow this advice. If you know that you are going to be intaking some type of substances on a night out, it's probably best just to Uber, Lyft, or hire a private driver. The end. Period. Dot. Okay. Now, with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.